Hello all. Today we discuss about the human skeleton. The human skeleton plays many important functions in our body. It plays a significant role for human body. For example, it provides shape and form for our bodies, like supporting, protecting, and bodily movements. And it also produces blood for the body and storing minerals. We can also discuss some other important functions for the human skeleton. Like a human skeleton has 206 bones. We all know about that the human body has 206 bones, and it forms a rigid framework to which softer tissues and organs of the bodies are attached. So vital organs are also protected by the human skeleton, which is a very important function. For example, the brain is protected by the surrounding skull, as the heart and the lungs are encased by the sternum and the ribcage. And for this reason, they are often grouped as the musculoskeletal system. Bodily movement is carried out by the interaction of the muscular and skeletal system. And this is the main reason that human skeleton can be grouped as the muscular skeleton system. We can also discuss about here the tendons and the ligaments. So, in simple words, what is tendons? Muscles, when muscles are connected to the bone, this is called tendon. And what is ligament? When bones are connected to each other, this is called ligament. We can also discuss here about the concept of the biceps and triceps. The contraction of the triceps and the relaxation of the biceps produce the effect of the strengthening of the arm. An example would be the contraction of the biceps and the relaxation of triceps. They produce a bend at the elbow. So we can also discuss about the divisions of the skeleton. We all know about that there are two main divisions of the skeleton, like axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton includes different parts like the skull, the sternum, the ribs, and the vertebral column. And the appendicular skeleton includes the different parts like the upper extremities and the lower extremities. Upper extremities include the hand, wrist, and the lower extremities like leg and thighs. We can discuss about this forward. And so what is we can also discuss about here the shoulder girdle, the pelvic girdle, the bone composition. Okay, what is sternum? The axial. We can discuss about here the axial skeleton. The axial skeleton has different parts as we discuss later. That the sternum, the skull, the ribs, and the vertebral column. What is the sternum? The sternum is a flat dagger-shaped bone located in the middle of the chest. What is dagger shape? Like it is a short knife with a pointed and the edged blade. The sternum is also composed of and it comprises of three parts: the manubrium, the blade or the glandulus, and the third part or the last part is the xiphoid process, which is called tip. The manubrium, which is called handle, is also called handle. Another name of manubrium is handle, and it is located at the top of the sternum. And the second part, which is called blade or glandulus, it is located in the middle of the sternum, and it connects the third to seventh ribs directly and the eighth to 10th rib indirectly. And the last part, which is the third part, it is called xiphoid process, also called tip. It is located in the bottom of the sternum. It is often cartilaginous, like it is made up of cartilage, but does become bony in the later years. So these three segments of the exoskeleton, the three segments of the bone are usually fused in the adults. So the sternum serves a very important function in the body. Like the ribs are connected to it by the costal cartilages. Without the sternum, there would be a hole in the bone structure and the middle of your chest, right above your heart and lungs. And what are ribs? Ribs are thin, flat, curved bones which protect the cage around the organs and the upper body. Ribs are comprised of bones arranged in pairs. So there are also three types of ribs: the true rib, the false rib, and the floating ribs. There are total 12 ribs in the body. So we divide these 12 ribs in the three parts, like the true ribs, the false ribs, and the floating ribs. The first 7 ribs are called true ribs. These ribs are connected to the spine in the back. In the front, the true ribs are connected directly to the sternum by a strip of the cartilage which is called costal cartilage. Now we discuss about the false rib. The next 3 pairs of the ribs are called false ribs. These ribs are slightly shorter than the true ribs and are connected to the spine in the back. And the last part is the floating rib. The last 2 ribs of the bones are called floating ribs. Floating ribs are very smaller than both of the above ribs, like true ribs and false ribs. They are attached to the spine at the back but are not connected to anything in front. Then what is vertebral column? Vertebral column is also called, in simple words, vertebral column is also called the backbone, the spine, and the spinal column. And it consists of the series of the irregularly shaped bones called vertebrae. There are 33 bones, in simple words we can say that there are 33 vertebrae in the human body. And we subcategorize these 33 vertebrae in different parts, like cervical vertebrae, thoracic vertebrae, lumbar vertebrae, sacrum, and the last part is the coccyx or the tailbone. What is cervical vertebrae? The first 7 vertebrae are called cervical vertebrae, and they are located at the top of the spinal column. In the vertebrae, in cervical vertebrae, there are also included the curves. Like in cervical vertebrae, there are cervical curves. In thoracic vertebrae, there are thoracic curves. So we are talking about the cervical vertebrae. So the first 7 vertebrae are called cervical vertebrae. They are located at the top of the spinal column or the spinal cord or the backbone. And the function of the cervical vertebrae form a flexible framework for the neck, and this support the head. So the first cervical vertebrae, which is very important part, the first cervical vertebrae is called atlas, and the second cervical vertebrae is called axis. And what is the function of atlas and axis? The atlas shape allows the head to nod yes, and the axis shape allows the head to shake no. Then the second vertebrae, here comes the thoracic vertebrae. The next 12 vertebrae are called thoracic vertebrae, which are included in the, or which is present or which is located in the thoracic region. These bones moves with the ribs to form the rear anchor of the rib cage. Thoracic vertebrae are very larger than the cervical vertebrae and increases in size from top to bottom. And after thoracic vertebrae, there comes the lumbar vertebrae. Lumbar vertebrae has 5 bones, and they are the largest vertebrae in the spinal column or our backbone. These vertebrae support most of the body weight and attach to many of the back of the muscles. And the second last part, it comes the sacrum. The sacrum is the triangular bone located just below the lumbar vertebrae. It consists of 4 or 5 sacral vertebrae in a child, which become fused into a single bone after the age of 26 in the adult age. And then the last part comes the coccyx or the tailbone. The bottom of the spinal column is called coccyx, or the tailbone. It consists of 23 bones which are fused together in an adult, and many muscles attached to the coccyx. So, in addition, in short, we can say that the human skeleton helps to support the head and the arms. While permitting freedom of movement, it also provides attachment for many muscles, the ribs and some of the organs, and protects the spinal cord, which protects the and controls most of the bodily functions. These are the main functions of the vertebral column. And the vertebral column also supports our human skeleton.